What's up, everybody? I'm Scott.
I'm Jason.
And welcome to the first episode of 2018, Liquid Kernedge. What's up, buddy?
I'm good, man. I feel like I need to have one of those or something like that to blow that with all the confetti and stuff because it's New Year.
I think we did all that on the Gruber last week.
Yeah, and I think you owe our listeners a little bit of an explanation of the Gruber. Because the Gruber was started off like gangbusters, man, and then it got pulled, abruptly and destroyingly pulled.
Yeah, that was a matter of self-preservation for a few of our guests, and myself, not excluded from that. And going back and listening to it from a more sober perspective, we could have done a better job with asking the questions, keeping on the course, but some people were just embarrassed about what they said, and they were just really, really worried about what the response would have been. So, out of a common courtesy to our listeners, and I take full responsibility for it, we pulled the episode. So we do have it in our archives in our best of box set coming out. That'll be in one of the first volumes. So,
and 20 of our listeners have heard the infamous Gruber.
They have. If you've heard the Gruber, you're one of 20. And I know our EP Tom, who is now on Twitter, hold on a second. The boys are making noise. Hey, knock your shit off. That's the first one of 2018.
2018. You got to get one good yelling at the dogs for barking.
118. They've been so quiet. I think they know when we start recording, it's time for them to get acting out.
That's funny. But we're gonna do better on the Gruber. We'll do better next year. We were talking about doing a Christmas story, or we'll do something different maybe next year.
Yeah, we'll mix it up. We'll mix it up next year. And it's like I said, this is all year one for us. We're learning.
Hey,
we're trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work.
I will say this, though. For those of you who did not make it to the Gruber pub crawl, next year is a given. You've got to be there. So that's just a plug for next year. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was so fun we had to pull the episode. That's how fun it was. We had to pull the episode.
Because we started off with, 4 or 5 people, and by the time we got done, we were pushing 20.
Oh, my gosh.
We picked up people at every bar we went to, and people were just hooting and hollering. And some of the things that didn't actually make the show, which if they'd have made the show, we would have had to pull it a whole lot faster. You know?
Yeah, there was a lot going on that night. We had to, I wish we could have found a way to record at each of the stops because even some of those conversations were hilarious.
Oh my God! Right, we met a lot of new friends that night. Hopefully, we have a lot of new listeners.
Hey, shout out to the Marshalls! Shout out to the Marshalls!
Yeah. Shout out to the Marshalls, Matt and Jenna. They were troopers, man. They came out, and Matt almost made a play to be the third host on this show, man. He was doing pretty good there for a while.
Yeah, he had some good commentaries. So
yeah,
but
I like Matt. He's a good dude.
Yeah, no, but this week's a little different for us because obviously I am now officially started 1 week into my new job I'll be probably almost done with my second week, and it's going really well so far, but the distance is hard, buddy. I feel like we've been dating for a long time, and now our relationship is going to have to survive the distance, man. Long distance relationship, man. I know.
Well, that's actually a future episode coming out. You don't know that yet, but we're going to discuss long-distance relationships, especially as we navigate ours, even from a podcast level. Because, as you might know, friends on any relationship, on any level, distance is hard and takes its toll on you. So
I know.
We're going to have to be one of those that transcends all the stereotypes of why it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Even on a podcast.
And we're going to have to make sure, we'll definitely have to make sure we also get a shout out to executive producer Tom. I know he wants us to use really good Skype material that's not Skype. So I'm hoping that over the next couple of weeks we'll get his advice to get us hooked up on something that's going to be a really good recording for us.
And he is on Twitter now, too. You can follow him on the Liquid Kernedge page off of that. I think it's Liquid Kernedge _EP. I have to go back and look. It just kind of caught me off guard. But if you have any comments, questions, or just want to have a conversation with us about any random topic, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Liquid Kernedge.
Hey, and I'm still going to work on trying to get a live phone line in so people can call into when we record the show.
I would like to do. That's one of my 2018 resolutions for Liquid Kernedge is to do a live call-in show.
I think that would be so much fun. It would be so awesome. I think we'd have a great time. Get people involved.
So too.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think it'd be the next step for us to transcendence. That's one step closer to Howard Stern level.
Oh my goodness! If we get the Howard level, who would even need Stern level? Just Howard level, I'd be fine.
Howard level.
Yeah.
Howard level. I agree with that.
So what do you think, buddy? What should be our first topic of 2018? What do you what are you feeling? What are you liking?
I want to go back to something that you and I have argued about for years.
Oh God.
You and I have gone back and forth on this for almost a decade now.
Oh God.
That is how long we've been friends. I remember being a wee lad of 26.
Oh.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
A youngin'. You were still in your 30s. That's how long ago that was.
I was 35? Wow, I'm old,
35,
dude.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And we were sitting in the Cracker Barrel one night discussing dating.
And we've done that a couple times. We've done that a couple times.
We've done that a couple times in a couple different varieties on this show. We've had people come on. We've had horror stories, friend zone, stuff like that. But there's been a working theory that we've gone back and forth with over for about the last 10 years, and it's called the dating season.
The dating season, yes, I do remember it because we've gone kind of not just talking about it, but we've actually gotten into a little bit of a upsetting, like, okay, we have to take a day or two off on the dating season. So hopefully we won't go to that level tonight.
Yeah, I don't think we will. It's just a fun discussion. It's something that we've had a couple of heavy episodes the last couple of weeks with top stories, and I think it's something to kind of lighten the mood and help start set the tone for 2018 for Liquid Kernedge.
I love it. Let's do it.
All right. So for those that don't know, the dating season in this theory starts February 15th. It's a lot like hunting. It starts February 15th and it runs to Halloween. So you have from that time frame to really establish a solid relationship, because you have a hard time establishing something solid during the holidays because you never quite know what someone's intentions are.
Well, I think it's important to distinguish between whether you are you're single as of February 15th, or if you are engaged or with someone as of February 15th. Because that's two different worlds that we live in. So since I have been in a relationship for a while, I can probably attest to what it means to be in a relationship during the out of season, and you can talk about what it means like to be like in dating season as a single man.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't do a lot of dating Halloween through Valentine's Day, because like I said, you never quite know someone's intentions. You never quite know if they're just hanging around because they don't want to be alone during the holidays, and sometimes that's not so bad.
So you're telling me that from Halloween till Valentine's Day, you basically are a celibate priest, is what you're telling me. That's what you're telling me, right? That's
yeah, of course.
Oh wow, okay.
Crazy, but yeah, of course.
The first lie of 2018. Wow.
No, it's just something that I've seen, and I've noticed it over the years in a lot of different levels, because you know how most breakups go. So if you break up with someone, it's never really over until the female says it's over. You can break up 15 times, and you know how many people get back together 16 times after that, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, because usually, let's be honest, guys have to really, they'll chain themselves to a good woman. So the women are usually breaking us up with us because we would not get rid of a good one.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. When a woman breaks up with you guys, it's because she's tired of your shit finally. Like, she's had it through up to here. She's done with it. She wants no part of it. You're out.
I don't know. We could talk about that too, but let's continue for right now.
Let's continue. Well, yeah. So the theory is, if you start dating someone, we'll say right after Halloween, early November, it gets difficult because the holidays are a time of family, a time of friends, a time of holiday parties and all sorts of things that you could go single, you could go couple, but if you're not together with someone long enough, you don't have that open, honest communication, it can get kind of weird. Have you ever started dating someone right after Halloween or right before, like summer, like October-ish?
Okay, I'm trying to think. No, I guess I started dating someone. My first wife, I started dating her in January, but it wasn't dating back then. It was called fucking. That's what it really was. So it wasn't really dating. We were having just a good time. So there was no expectation of going to someone's house and spending Martin Luther King Day with someone, or it wasn't it wasn't anything like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
so I'm trying to think.
the working theory is that if you actually start dating somebody, like it gets serious, going to someone's parents' house for the holiday.
Yeah.
We'll say Thanksgiving. Do they come to yours? Do you go to theirs? What's appropriate to bring? Man, it's a lot of questions, and that's fine if you want to. If you're into it and you met someone that's great and you want to go for it, by all means. This is all just a theory as we go through this. So you can laugh at us. You can call us idiots. You can call me an idiot more than Jason because he's the one that's in a solid relationship. But these are just more of a guideline of what actually happens during this time of year.
Oh man, and see, so I have a little bit different philosophy because, yeah, I think the season is actually starting in September and going through New Year's is the bad time of year. Because after New Year's, it's a fresh new year. People have their New Year's resolutions about getting someone in their lives. And the romance is so new and so young that even if you started dating 3 weeks before Valentine's Day, you at least could still get someone a card. And they'd be like, oh, isn't he sweet? He got me a nice card.
Well, if you start dating right before Valentine's Day, absolutely, you're right. If that works out for you, like
Yeah.
New Year's, like January 1st to February 14th, whatever.
Yeah, and I guess
That's a strong play to actually say, hey, I want to date you in that time frame.
yeah, anyone who
That's a
tries
solid Valentine's Day.
Yeah, anyone who tries to get into a relationship in October, November, December, that's tough. That's tough.
Here's the biggest pitfall about that, and I don't want it to come off sounding dickish, but like there's always that.
Dick away, buddy. Dick away.
Don't ever say that again, please. But it's that Christmas present. Like you set that tone. Like, what do you get them at that point? Because if you're dating someone significant, it's going to go somewhere. Jewelry, obviously, necklaces, earrings, something of substantial value.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh God, yeah. That's why I think anything after, if you can get into a relationship before the end of August, you've got a chance. Anything after August and anything up until like the first week in January, you're pretty much asking for trouble because you know, obviously Halloween, you're gonna have Halloween parties to go to, and you know that's what kind of costumes they wear. Then you got Thanksgiving, that's a huge family one. Do you go to her house for family? Do you go to someone else's house? Do you go to your house? Then I mean, yeah, you're right. Let's not even talk about Christmas. I mean, that could be a make or break before the relationship even starts.
Or it sets the tone on an unrealistic expectation, too. I mean, if you go overboard and you get, we'll say, someone you've been dating a month and a half, a nice Tiffany bracelet, you know, necklace, whatever. I don't know how much this stuff costs because it's been a while. But, you know, that sets the tone down the road. It doesn't send the right message.
Hey.
Are you sure?
Go ahead.
No, are you sure that's the road you want to go down in this particular situation?
Hey, think about this, too. What if you start dating someone between September and Christmas or New Year's, and they also have a birthday in there as well?
Oh, man.
Because that's a tough one, too. Because
that's the gauntlet.
Yeah, I mean, then you're really asking for yourself to, you know, because then you put out there, like my girlfriend, her birthday is December 9th, and Christmas is December 25th. So all year long, you don't really have to do very much at all, and then in December, you get a double whammy.
Yeah, you got to work hard for it.
Now,
I think as you get older, I think it gets a little bit easier because you get more resourceful with ideas.
Maybe. I don't know. I have a hell of a time. Because they get to that point, what do you want? Oh, I don't know, nothing. And then you're stuck. At least with a girl in the very beginning, you know, at least I guess you could say, what do you want? Get her a pair of earrings and she's all goo goo gaga for you.
But when I say be resourceful, I mean, we have wine country fairly close to Temecula, the Verde Valley here. We have, hold on a second. The boys turned on the TV. This is a first in Liquid Kernedge.
No, that's that. I know what that is. That's those freaking ghosts you have in your house, dude. Don't even start. Don't even start. Those are the ghosts, man.
Yeah. Well, for all I know, the dogs watch TV while I'm gone. I left the controller on the couch before I went to the gym today, so it just kind of took me by surprise that Onyx Slam is on MTV. So I'm not sure what they're watching when I'm not here.
Oh,
but
God.
Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, so being resourceful, even if you're in a fairly new relationship, you can take the time to get like a trip to wine country in the Verde Valley, or you know, one of the shows up in Vegas. You can be resourceful. Groupon's a big help for something like that.
Oh, see, but even that though, the hard part I have with that is a trip to Temecula. That's like a big thing. Okay, yeah, so let's paint it in this. Let me put it in this regard. if you're a couple, brand new, you've been together 2 weeks and it's November, let's say, and it's right before Thanksgiving. Let's say it's the first or second week in November, and you guys decide to go to wine country. Now, a trip with
For
someone.
Thanksgiving?
No, before Thanksgiving, I said. It's between Halloween and Thanksgiving. You decide to go to the weekend to the wine country. Now that's a pretty big matzo ball right there. I mean, because that says a lot. You're going to spend a weekend together with someone that you may have known for 3 weeks.
You know, it's funny. I dated a girl one time that had a very good philosophy on that. It was when you're early on in a relationship with someone you want to date, you need to take a trip like that with them.
Oh.
You can see how they react under pressure in different environments and how their attitude is toward a lot of things.
Yeah, but aren't you concerned that you could spend a weekend with a total freak? And you're going to find out that she has fungus in her toes, and she's going to find out that she got hairy legs, and ooh.
Would you rather find that out early on or drag it out and find out that, 3 months into it?
Well, I know, but then you're still on a trip ruining wine country because you're with some hairy Yeti girl who doesn't clean her toenails and stuff. I mean, come on.
Well, I think if you're going to go that early in a trip, the girl is going to clean her toenails and shave her Yeti legs. And on a side note, I can already hear Ansi, our executive producer, rolling his eyes and making notes on this conversation.
I don't really, you know what? My goal is to try to make a recording that he has a comment on every single one of them. That's my goal. And if I can do that, then I've accomplished what I need to accomplish.
We have different goals for 2018.
Yeah, we've sidetracked. We sidetracked. Let me ask you this, Scotty. Is there a certain, like, if someone is in the dating world and they're starting dating in that 3 to 4 month window, that's just a negative. What are your words of warning to that person?
I would just say be honest about what you want and make sure they're honest about what they want. I mean, do they want something because they want to be with somebody, or are they just one of those that's afraid to be alone during the holidays? Because if you're fine not being alone during the holidays with someone that doesn't want to be alone either, and it's just something short term, that's fine. But you have to decide are you dating to date or dating to mate, and that's the biggest difference. You have to figure out what you want out of a relationship.
Yeah, dating to date or dating to mate.
That's exactly it. I mean, and that's two different.
Or
things.
hey, there's dating to fornicate too. I mean, you got that going.
Well, that's kind of dating the date where it's just casual, it's not going anywhere. I don't want to say a time filler, but
I think I'm going to copyright though dating to fornicate.
You should. You can make that all yours.
Date to fornicate. I like that.
Are you dating to fornicate?
Yeah.
But that's it. If you want to make sure that if you do start dating someone in that area, or any time there for that fact, make sure you're on the same page. That way you don't waste your time one way or the other.
Now, let's talk about the summer, though, because you said February 15th through October 30th. That is your dating season. That's the time to be on the prowl, date to fornicate, date to mate, date to proclamate.
It sounds so nice when you say it like that.
But you're saying that's your philosophy, though, is February 15th through October 31st is the best dating season.
I think you're more prone to find something real in that time frame.
Really? Okay, explain.
I'm not saying you can't find it real during the others, but with so many family and friends and activities going on between Halloween and Valentine's Day, like I said, a lot of people just don't want to be alone. They want to have somebody that can go with them to the Christmas party, that they can kiss under the mistletoe, and that's fine if you both know where you're going. But it's hard to find something that's real. Excuse me. It's hard to find something that's real during that time frame. I think you find it more real when you're in that span of time where there's no major holidays like that you have to endure. Do they meet my family? You can meet them at a family barbecue versus Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner, for that fact.
That's a good point, because there's no major holidays between February 15th and then I guess Memorial Day is the end of May, but now you're getting into summer season. Hopefully now you're going to get to see some bikinis and go out, see them in a bikini, take them to the lake Havasu.
It's an easier environment because it can be more casual. You can take more time with it.
Not to mention the 4th of July is a great just a celebration party, but you don't have the obligation of necessarily, I've got to put on a good show for the parents, because normally even if you get invited to a cookout, it's a cookout, so everyone's just kind of kicking, and there's no solemnness to it. I get it. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, and that's just been my general philosophy for a long time. It's just there's less pressure. Spring has got that metaphor of things begin anew, and it's nice to start fresh and build something strong. That's just through the summertime also. Then the fall, that's where if you've been with someone long enough, or you really start to build that bond, if it's going to go somewhere or not.
So is there a grace period though that you start too late in the dating season and you're pretty much doomed?
No, I don't know if there's a grace period. It's hard to tell. Everyone's different. Every relationship's different. You never know when you're going to meet that person. I mean, let's be honest. You never know when you're going to meet someone that's going to make you change your entire philosophy on anything, really,
I know, but I could see you you meet the greatest girl of your life, but you meet her October 15th, and now we're getting into danger zone time because it's like, ooh, that means it's only 2.5 months toward Christmas. I got Thanksgiving to throw in there next month. Ooh.
But if
she looks really good, but I don't want, do I want to date the maid or do I want to date the fornicate? Which one do I want to do?
But if you meet someone in that time frame, you got that feeling. It's like, this could go somewhere. You know what you're going to do. You're gonna go head in. You're still lovey-dovey.
Yeah, but okay. So you start meeting a girl October 15th. You guys start to hit it off. Everything's going great. She invites you to a Halloween party on the 31st. You go because you're wearing a mask right at this point, right? The girl and you are both putting on masks. You're putting your best foot forward. She doesn't know you quite. Good metaphor, right? She doesn't know you quite well. You got your mask, you got your costumes on. Everything's going great.
You're like, he's cool. Oh, she's great. We're just hanging out. We're just seeing where it goes. Yeah,
okay.
You know how that goes.
So, and because you're a gentleman, you like to give 3 or 4 dates before you fornicate. I mean, that's the way you do it. So then you get to November 16th, and now you finally have had the perfect dinner, perfect dancing, and now you guys do the date to fornicate. Boom. What do you do a week later when you've got to decide whose Thanksgiving you're going to?
Well, if you're not ready to meet the family, I don't think you are at that point. But you want to go somewhere. You take it slow. It's okay if you have family in a different town.
That helps.
Let her go do her own thing, or even if you just come by for dessert later on, or vice versa. I think open, honest communication about where you're going, and I say after a month, you know what you're doing. Either you want to be with that person, or. So it helps kind of set that tone so you can kind of figure out that middle ground. Okay,
but let's be honest. We have a bunch of really awesome listeners. And I can guarantee you that there's going to be a tweet or a Facebook message of some person saying, wait a minute, hold on. I know that crazy girl. I know a crazy girl who's going to say, what? You don't want to meet my parents? What, we're not committed? We just had fornication. You don't want to meet my parents? What is that saying, Scott? You don't want me to meet your parents?
I think you need to stop saying fornication in this conversation. It's really making it awkward.
What are you talking about? I'm trying to be polite to all the Hans Gruber freaks that couldn't have their voices heard on the recording because they said the bad word. I'm trying to be polite,
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. No. I lost my whole train of thought on that.
Sorry, dude. I just saw the look of disdain come out of your eyes. Like, wow, dude. Really?
Even from 200 miles away, you can still see my eyes rolled. We are on Skype, so we do have a video session going. So it is like you're right here. You're like that parent that gets way too close to the camera.
But you have to admit that there is a problem when the one person likes the other person more, and they say, "Hey, I want you to meet my family. Thanksgiving would be a great time."
Yeah, and that happens. That happens in every relationship where the person who's in it more than the other wants to try to push it to the next level, but you have to kind of pump the brakes, and you have to be cool about it. You don't have to necessarily meet the family on Thanksgiving. But that's a long weekend. I mean, you could stop by, have like a leftover lunch the next day or a piece of pumpkin pie. Same goes with like Christmas time, man. You don't have to spend Christmas Day with everybody, but like by the time everyone's playing games at night or whatever else, it's cool to stop by and introduce yourself, and it takes the pressure off. That way you're not sitting at dinner with Grandma and Aunt Helen, from way back east that's, coming to judge everybody that she meets.
Well, and I just think there's such a message. If a girl invites you to go to her house for Christmas dinner with the family that you've only been dating like a month and a half, 2 months, That's
Yeah.
pretty big. That's a pretty big thing. That's a pretty big thing.
I think it goes both ways, and I think no matter what side of the fence you're on, you have to listen to that, and you have to make that decision from there. How into this are you? Because you're right. If you're into something serious, you have to go one way or the other, or find some kind of compromise.
So, have you ever started? I mean, you obviously have a very good philosophy when it comes to the dating season. Are you
it's worked so well for me?
No, I mean, are you are you utilizing this philosophy because of a bad experience by starting dating someone into the non-dating season that caused a problem? And if so, please elaborate.
I think it just comes from the youth. I mean, the youth of being young and dumb and trying to meet someone way too young. You know, when I was we talked about this 10 years ago, so I was probably in my mid-20s. Yeah, when this all came about, and I started dating somebody, and she went way too fast, way too quickly.
Yeah.
We started hanging out on Halloween, and by Thanksgiving, she wanted me there for the Wild Turkey Wednesday and with her family, and then back on Thanksgiving Day. It's just too much pressure too quick, and at that point I was too young to say, hey, it's not going to work.
Yeah, and then so yeah, exactly. Now, shoot. Well, you don't even put yourself in that situation. Hey, dating season's off. I'm chilling. I'm like a bear. I'm going to hibernate.
Yeah, that's it. It's not that I put up the signs and say no dating season. I mean, if you meet someone, and you go out and you have a good time, you can still laugh and get to know each other, and what happens. But I don't actively try to date anybody this time of year.
Well, the good thing is, Scott, only 1 month and 1 week left, and you'll be on February 15th, and may the dating season begin, baby.
It sounds so bad. This sounded like such a great conversation I did when we started the conversation tonight, and as we've gone on, I'm just thinking in my head, well, this will be a fun one for our listeners to give us some feedback.
Well, and here's the thing is that the majority of our listeners and the new ones that have come on board, because we've had some great people come on board and start listening to us, and we really appreciate it. I think this just gives you a little bit of a taste that as you go out and meet Scott and meet Jason, you'll have a little bit of a vision into the souls that we hold to ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like for the new listener out there, this episode will be good to see the soul of Scott Kern and Jason Edgeworth.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're trying to do here. I want to show my soul to our listeners.
Okay.
I want to look deep. I want to look deep into their eyes, to the listeners of Liquid Kernedge, and let them see my true feelings.
And believe me, we're not trying to say that you can't meet and fall in love. Just realize that there are pitfalls to dating in the non-dating season that can cause major problems. Especially if you get the person who is so needing of a relationship that they want to force love and force depth and force long term. So for all those people out there, be careful, man.
That's the scary part. You don't want to get yourself, stuck in something because someone's trying to force it. Our executive producer has some stories on that'll make your toes curl, and not in the good way. It's.
Tom has some really good, real good zingers when he gives us our story, the critique of our stories. But there's a lot of depth in that we can take, and maybe we need to get him back on the show. We only had him one time. That was when I had laryngitis. So,
And I think so. Well, I think you literally live right down the way from him now. So
I know I might have to go down there. We'll just hook up on there on my computer, and we'll just record that time. That's a good idea.
And then I did buy he did buy me tickets for UFest in April, so I will be down there a few times before then too. So we will be doing some recording down in Phoenix here over the next few months to get all of us in the same room together. So that should be a good time also.
Oh, that'll be fun. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. Forward to that. Dude, I think this has been a really good first episode of 2018, baby.
I think so. I think this kind of set the tone. It's a light tone. It's a nice, easy tone to start the year off. Like you mentioned before, this is just a guideline. It's our thoughts, our processes of what we see on dating. And you can see something completely different. And if you do, man, tell us your idiots and tell us your philosophy on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Liquid Kernedge. We want to hear from you guys what you want to say. And because we'd love to swap stories. I've got horror stories about dating through this time of year. I've got horror stories about dating, February 15th through Halloween. So...
Scott, I tell you, we could do a Liquid Kernedge pub crawl every month and go over the horror stories of people dating during the non-dating season.
Dating horror stories. Oh my God, that's an idea for a great live call-in show. Give us your worst dating story.
Well, Stephanie, we'll get Stephanie on. She always has some good horrible dating stories that we can always tap into as well.
She did text me and ask because she met a guy on the Gruber, and she asked that they're heading toward their fourth date if we pay for it. And
what?
She says she met a guy.
Okay.
I haven't seen her to talk to her about what happened afterward, but
well, let's just say
she wanted to know if it still counted because she didn't meet him on Plenty of Fish. She met him on the Gruber. So
I mean, I think that how about this? The Gruber doesn't count as a first date, but I would be willing to count if she goes on 3 dates with him, because she did meet him like on the Gruber. So I would give credit for that. What are your thoughts?
I was going to talk to you about it. If you think that's a good idea, I'm down with that.
Hey, everyone who listens to the show, go to @Liquid Kernedge on Facebook and put a vote in whether a date met on Gruber should count. Stephanie's vote does not count.
I think I will go onto Twitter tonight and start a
survey.
Survey.
Yeah, and we'll get it ready because we'll be releasing this on Thursday for the first episode of 2000. It's the second episode because Gruber was our first episode. Yeah. So, but
that was more of a recap of a shit show. So our first real episode of 2018 here today for your enjoyment. So thank you for listening.
So Scotty,
appreciate that.
I want to next week. My new job is amazing. But one of the things that's so weird about it is that I'm in an office with about 700 cubicles, and there's only about 100 people who work in the building because everyone works remote. And I really want to have a kind of an interesting discussion about how virtualization in the workspace, virtualization of shopping and retail has changed the way that we do business and the way that we live our lives. I'd love to talk about that with you next week.
I think that's a great idea for a show because it's a great contrast from the vapid dating show we talked about today.
Hey, we can talk about the online dating because that's all part of it. No one goes to Hans Gruber anymore and meets someone. They all meet him on Plenty of Fish.
I didn't say online dating. I said vapid dating episodes like this. This is a very light, airy conversation tonight, not...
vapid. Wow, yeah. That's a big word, Scotty. I love that word. I'm going to have to look it up, though, when I get off the podcast.
And on that note, thanks for listening to us tonight. First real episode of 2018. We appreciate it. You guys giving us the feedback and listening are the reason we do what we do. So thank you for everyone listening to us. And hopefully this year we have a lot more entertaining episodes for you to enjoy.
Awesome. I could not have said it better myself, buddy.
Perfect. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and sign off. So I'm Scott.
I'm Jason. And as always, if you never know quite what to say, just have yourself some Liquid Kernedge.